I want you to picture two professionals. They work in the same industry, have the same degree, and live in the same city. The first professional will call him Marquez. He's at his desk by 8 a.m. drowning in emails, manually sorting through data for his weekly reports, and spending hours drafting project proposals from scratch. He's productive on paper, but he's exhausted. He feels like he's running a race where the finish line keeps moving. He's 2 missed software updates away from a career crisis. The second professional, let's call her Sar, works in the same field, but her day looks entirely different. She noticed a space in her workflow, a margin that Mark doesn't. Ave. She uses AI to automate her data analysis. She's trained a custom model to draft her first-round proposals, and she spends most of her day on high-level strategy and creative Sarah isn't working harder. She is living and working deliberately. While Mark is trading his finite time for linear output, Sarah has created a leverage that allows her to produce 10 times the value in half the time. This isn't just a story about technology. It's a story about the hidden relationship between skills and time that most people in 2026 still don't understand. Today, we're going to walk through the future skill rules that separate people who will always be in demand from those who are quietly becoming obsolete. These aren't about becoming a computer scientist. They're about understanding that every manual task you perform has a hidden cost you've probably never calculated. The true cost of old-school work. Everything you do at work costs you twice. The first cost is obvious. It's the time you spend doing the task. But there's a second cost that most people completely ignore, and it's often larger than the first. The second cost of not using AI in future-ready skills includes mental energy, opportunity cost, and professional inertia. When you spend 4 hours manually formatting a spreadsheet, you aren't just losing 4 hours. You are piling implicit rent on your brain's processing power. Researchers have found that repetitive, low-value tasks increase cognitive clutter and reduce your ability to focus on the deep work that actually leads to promotions or business breakthroughs. Every hour locked up in manual labor is an hour not spent investing in your future self. In the same way that $15,000 in index funds grows over 15 years. A single AI-augmented skill like prompt engineering or workflow automation compounds. You aren't just learning a tool, you are buying back your future freedom. Rule 1. Calculate the cost per use of your skills before you commit to a workflow. You need to estimate how many times you'll realistically perform it. This is your cost per use. If you spend 20 hours learning how to use an AI agent to handle your scheduling, and you use that agent 200 times a year, the cost of that skill becomes negligible over time. Meanwhile, manually doing that task for 15 minutes every day costs you over 60 hours a year. That's an obscenely expensive way to manage a calendar. The math cuts through the fear of AI. It reveals what actually makes sense versus what just feels comfortable in the moment. Rule 2. Apply the replacement test to your routine. Walk through your daily work routine and look at every task you do. Ask yourself, if I were starting my career today, would I pay someone to teach me how to do this manually? Double quotes, be honest. Would you spend money to learn how to manually transcribe a meeting? Would you pay to learn how to search through thousands of documents one by one? For most legacy tasks, the answer is no. They exist in your life through inertia, not intention. These junk drawer tasks have negative value. They cost you mental energy without providing a corresponding benefit to your career trajectory. Professionals who will thrive in the 2030s are ruthlessly eliminating tasks that fail the replacement test. The AI multiplier effect in the world of finance. We talk about the lifestyle multiplier, where one purchase like a boat triggers a cascade of other expenses, trailers, maintenance, insurance, closing parentheses. Future skills have a reverse multiplier effect. Learning one core AI competency, like understanding how to bridge different software platforms, eliminates an entire category of supporting manual tasks. Mastering a single automation tool doesn't just save you time on one project. It creates a recycling effect where one pool of mental energy keeps moving from project to project instead of disappearing into the depreciation of manual labor. Things no longer worth your time in 2026. In 2026, the economy no longer operates by the same rules. Some habits that felt normal 5 years ago now border on career self-sabotage. Here are 3 things that are no longer worth your time. Starting from scratch, whether it's an email, a code block, or a marketing plan, starting with a blank cursor is a wealth transfer from your life to your employer. It's a bottom line. Use AI to generate the first 60% of the work. Your value is in the final 40%, the human layer of nuance and strategy. Linear learning. Spending 6 months to learn a single software interface is no longer a good investment. Interfaces are changing too fast. Instead, spend that time learning the underlying logic of how AI interacts with data. The performance difference between someone who knows how to click and someone who knows how to prompt is becoming astronomical. Boredom-driven upgrades. Don't just learn the newest AI tool because it has a shiny interface or better marketing. An AI tool remains functional until it genuinely fails to serve its purpose. Boredom is not a failure. Desire for novelty is not a failure. Stick to a core skill stack until a new tool offers a 10x improvement, not just a 3% marginal gain. Your current decade decides your future. Your professional life sits at the intersection of 3 forces: peak performance, compounding time, and skill stabilization. If you are in your 40s right now, you are at your most consequential professional decade. You have the most raw material experience available for building leverage, but the compounding multiplier of your skills drops rapidly with each passing year. The person who integrates AI into their workflow at 42 will have their career capital quadruple by 65. The person who waits until 55 to catch up faces mathematical constraints that cannot be overcome. They will be working harder in their 60s, not because they want to, but because they have to. Defining enough. The high-skill trap is real. It happens when you earn a high salary, but your method of working is so inefficient that you have no margin. You hear more, but you spend more time just to stay in place. The escape route requires an uncomfortable choice: confronting what your work is actually for. True professional wealth is measured by optionality, not just output. Can you leave a toxic workplace? Can you take 6 months off for a family emergency? Can you pivot to a new industry? These options are only available to people who have built a substantial margin between their value and their time. The AI revolution isn't about the technology. It's about intention. It's about deciding that you want to own your career rather than letting your career own you. You don't need to be a tech genius to be free. You just need to be more clear about what actually matters than the person. In the next office, the choice is yours. Work for the machine or make the machine work for you. The math favors the second option. So does the peace of mind.